All right, today Santa Claus is going to give you a math review, okay? And you better be nice and pay attention and not naughty. Otherwise you may get coal in your stocking.
Yes.
All right, first of all, this chapter has 11 lessons that we did, okay? And you're going to remember them as we go back. First one we started out with was division patterns. And with the division patterns, it was basically 8 times, nope, you got to divide. 8 divided by 2 is 4, right? 80 divided by 2 is 40. 0, 0. 800 divided by 2 is 400. 800 divided by 20. You're going to take this one from here, so these will cancel out, if you remember, and you're still going to have that, so it's going to be 40. Now, a way to check this, 40 times 20 equals 800. 1 there, 2 there. Okay, with multiplication, if you got zeros in the problem, you add them together. With division, you're going to cancel them out. Okay? Everybody follow along with that? You remember it? Okay? That was patterns. Okay? Check that out. Estimate using compatible numbers. Okay? This one was where you had to know your division facts. And they would give you problems what would be a divisible number that we know 5 would go into that's close to 3,951? Adam?
7.
Nope.
3,950.
What I want to look at, what they had us look at before was the first 2 digits. So you got 5 and 39. 40. So 4,000 divided by 5. And it would be 800. Okay? Because this is a 4D. And you have the 2 zeros. Okay? Also, when you had 1 digit, you left it alone. Okay? Now, for example, on not having 1 digit, now we got 2 digits, right? And we got 2 digits here. You're always looking at the first 2 digits. What could they both round to that would give me an estimate? Adam?
78.
78. What does it round to? George?
1.
Huh? Nope.
80.
80. So if this rounds to 80, what would 84 round to that, Lucas?
80.
80. So here we'd have 80,000 divided by 80. Think of it.
100?
No. 80,080.
10,000?
No.
1,000?
1,000. 80 times 1,000. 80 times 1 is 80. And then you have the 1,000 after it. You have the 80 here, you got that 0 and that 0. Right? So then you have 3 that are left over here. Okay? So it's 1,000. Okay? Let me give you another one that's not with the zeros. Let's do. Weird people out there.
What is that? There's a Christmas tree outside.
It's scary.
Oh, they're coming through for pictures or something like
That's
that.
scary.
All right, this one. What's the first 2 digits that we are looking at? 55. And we got 82.
So 80 rounds to 80 and 55 rounds to 60.
Nope. Does 80 go into 60?
No.
No. Kellen?
Our competition, Mr. Mink.
Merry, Merry Christmas! The ghost of Christmas past and Christmas present wish you a Merry Christmas.
They're trying, aren't they? 56. 8 goes into 56. Right? Compatible numbers. So we're going to make these zeros. Divide. How many 8s are in 56? Since you said it. 7. Very good. How many zeros am I putting in? Okay. Any questions over compatible numbers and estimating? Am I getting the exact answer? No. If I see the exact answer, it's wrong. Because they're going to ask you about. So please pay attention to the words. Okay? Next, this was easy stuff. Dividing by 1-digit numbers.
Like, it took me 2 hours to finish now.
Dante. 6 going to 4?
No. 7.
7 times 6 is 42. Subtract, I got 5. Bring down the 1, I start all over again. 6 into 51.
8.
8 times 6 is 48. Subtract, I get 3. Bring down to 6.
6.
6 times 6 is 36. Subtract, I get 0. That remainder is 0. Hard? Super simple? Should be super simple because later in the chapter we did 2-digit numbers. So the 1 digit should be real easy. Okay? Next was the same thing, but you had zeros in the quotient. For example, who wants to try this one? Vanessa. 6 going to 6? How many times? Once. 1 1 times 6 is 6, subtract, I get 0. Bring down to 6. Does 6 still go into 6? Yeah. Still 1 time? Okay. 1 times 6 is 6, subtract, I get 0. Now I bring down to 2. Does 6 go into 2, Vanessa? No. So this is where the 0 in the quotient, 0 in the answer goes. Okay? 0 times 6 is 0. Subtract. You get 2. Oh, there's nothing more to bring down. So that means that this is what?
A remainder.
A remainder. Remainder 2. You're going to have where you have a 0 in the answer. And that's all that this lesson was about, making sure that you knew you still have to put that 0 there. Let me give you one more. Sasha, 6 into 648.
636 1.
1 times 6 is 6, subtract, again 0, bring down the 4.
And then bring down, and then bring down the root.
No, I already brought down the 4.
Put a 0 up.
The 6 go into 4.
No.
No, so I put a 0 up. 0 times 6 is 0, subtract, I get 4. Now I bring down the 8. See, you were wanting to bring it down before, and you would have had 6 going into 48 8 times. 48, and you get an answer 0, the remainder 0. You were about to put the 8 in here, because you were saying bring the 8 down too. You bring them down one at a time, okay? And that's why I'm going over it. This one has a 0 in the middle. This one has it on the end. Make sure that you get it right, okay? Don't forget, put that 0 up there, okay? That's 0 in the quotient. The visibility, these are the rules. You ended up with 2, 5, 4, 3, 9, and 6. In order for it to be divisible by 2, very simple.
The last digit has to be even.
Last digit has to be even. Doesn't matter what the other digits are in front of it, last digit has to be even. In other words, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? And it's divisible by 2. To be divisible by 5. Charlie?
Last digit has to be a 5 or 0.
Last digit has to be a 5 or a 0. Okay? How about 4?
That's the look at the last 2 numbers.
Yes? And they have to what?
Divisible by 4.
They have to be divisible by 4. Okay? The last 2 numbers. So you can have 8, 7, 1, 3, 2. What am I looking at? To figure out if it's divisible by 4.
The last digit?
I'm just looking at
Or the
these.
last
I don't
digit.
care about these. These 2 digits, is that divisible by 4?
Yeah.
8 goes, 8 times 4 is 32. So then that is divisible by 4. It has to be those last 2 digits, okay? That's all that you're looking at. Then we move on to 3. 3 was a tougher one.
Don't you have to add them all up and then they have to be divisible by 3?
Now, if I add this up, I get 8 and 7 is 15, 16, 19, 21. right? Is 21 divisible by 3?
Yes.
So is this divisible by 3?
Yes.
So far, we can tell right now that it's not divisible by 5, because it has a 2, not a 0 or a 5. But it's even, so it's divisible by 2. We found out that it's divisible by 4. It's also divisible by 3.
It's divisible by 6.
It's divisible by 6 because why?
2 and 3 go into it.
Because it's divisible by both 2 and 3. Okay? Does everyone understand that? 6, you don't have to do anything, you just have to check and see if it's 2 and 3. If 2 and 3 it's divisible by, then it's also divisible by 6. And the last one, 9. If the sum of all these digits is divisible by 9, is this divisible by 9? No. So it's not divisible by 9. This isn't divisible by 5, and it isn't divisible by 9. Okay? But it is divisible by 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay? Do you know those rules? Make sure that you know them. Okay? Because it will be on the test. Okay? Hint, hint, hint. Visibility. Arrays and area models. This is where they had you guys had these in the IXL too, where they would have they had them going out to the side. And you had to find out if it was what it was divisible by. You also had to do the arrays. This was where we had a problem and you had to start dividing across. So if you had, let me get a number, 13. And this is where we did that. It was the first part of moving into the 2-digit division, where we did it in steps each day. This one, 12 doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 13 one time, right? And 1 times 12 is 12, subtract, I get 1, bring down the 2, and I bring this over here, and then I divide 12 into 12, because this is the number that's down here. And this is when we did the array, this was the arrays part, okay? 12 goes into 12 one time, subtract. And then what you ended up with here was 10 plus 1 equals, 11. Okay? That was that one. Okay? Then we moved into the next one. Where they had the strategies. You went up and down there, or you went across. This one, you're gonna go up and down on. You'll see this. 24 goes into 2,952. 24 goes into 29 one time, right? Correct?
Yes.
24, subtract, and we put across the 100. Then you bring down the 5 and 5. 24 goes into 55
2 times which equals 48.
2 times, and we put the 20 above it. Do you remember this now? Now we're putting 24 into 72.
3 times?
3 times. And that 3 goes up there. And it's 72, subtract, you ended up with 0. Okay? This was the next strategy. Instead of going across with it, we went up and down. Okay? Then we went straight to the division part, where instead of going the up and down, we just divided normally. Okay? 24 goes into 29 one time. Subtract. You end up with 5. Bring down the 5. And I don't put the zeros and go up. 24 goes into 55 2 times, which is 48. Subtract, you get 7. Bring down the 2. 24 goes into 72 3 times. 3 times 24 is 72, and I get a remainder of 0. Okay? This one, you stack it up, and that shows you that this is there, and this is down here, and this is right here. Over here, you just go straight through. Okay? Working backwards. There's one problem on the test, and it's not hard. But this is where they would tell you, we talked about the truck that was carrying berries, vegetables, and nuts. The vegetables weigh 12 times as much as the berries. Do you know anything concrete yet? No. Okay? The vegetables weigh 14,000 pounds more than the nuts. Do we know anything concrete yet? No. The nuts weigh 4,000 pounds. Now we know what one of them actually is. It tells you. Okay? And you have to work all the way through. You got to read all the way through till you find one that it tells you what it is. Then you got to go backwards. So if it's telling you times, what are you going to do? Divide. If it says that it is more, then you subtract. Okay? In this, we found out that the nuts were 4,000 pounds. And then if we went back, it said that the vegetables weigh 14,000 pounds more than the nuts. The nuts weigh that amount. So what are we going to do? It says that they weigh 14,000 pounds more.
We subtract.
Nope.
Oh, I know.
Sasha?
We add.
Add. Because this is the nuts. And the vegetables, is it the vegetables?
Yes.
The vegetables weigh 14,000 pounds more than the nuts. So read it, understand it, 14,000 more. We're at 18,000 pounds. Okay? Now, the vegetables weigh 12 times as much as the berries. So if these are 12 times as much as the berries, then I gotta do what here? To find the berries.
18,000 times 12.
You gotta divide it.
Oh, divided.
I gotta divide it. And this is where you're gonna end up with, goes in 1. Twelve goes into 65 times. And that's even. So what am I gonna do with these? Just add them to the answer. Cause 0, I'm dividing 12 into 0. It's gonna be 0, and 12 into another 0, it's gonna be another 0. Okay? This was working backwards. Okay? After that, we got into order of operations. Order of operations meant that's putting it real simple. First thing that you look for are what? Parentheses or brackets. Second, powers of 10. What would this be? 40?
$10,000?
10,000. Because it's gonna be, because if it was 10 to the first, there'd be 1 0. 10 to the 0 means that it's 1. There's no zeros. Okay? 10 to the fourth, you're gonna have 4 zeros. 2, 3, 4. Okay? Next, you do division and multiplication, multiplication and division, whatever it is. And you start on one side and you go left to right. And then the same thing down here, the last part, is addition and subtraction. Those are the last things that are done. Okay? The last one was on expressions. Okay? Let me pick on Vanessa. Vanessa, you pull out your purse, and in your purse, you have $5, $5, $5, $10, and three ones. How am I gonna write an expression that's gonna tell what you got? Not asking to simplify it, just what would be the expression that we would write? How many 5s are there? 5 times parentheses, right? Then a plus. Huh? How many you got? Parentheses. And that's the expression. If it says to write the expression, that's all that you're writing. Okay? If it says to simplify it, then you're gonna answer it. So how much money do you have? Well, in order to figure it out, order of operations says that we do parentheses first. So you got 15 plus 20 plus 3. If you add it all up, how much do you have in your purse? What? $38. Okay? This is the expression. The one thing that you guys were doing that was a mistake was that you were taking this and you were figuring out, well, it's 15 and 20 and 3. But you didn't do the complete expression. You were already doing this and doing this and doing that. And what they're wanting with the expression is exactly what you got to do first. So we got three $5 bills. We got 2 $10 bills. We got 3 $1 bills. Multiply, multiply, multiply. Okay? And that's the full expression. Then, to simplify it, you got to figure it out. Answer it. How much is it? Okay? Is this that hard? No. Is it going to take time? Yes. Okay? There's a lot of things that you got to know. One that I want you to remember is this. You don't have to worry about knowing this. And the reason why is because down here you're doing 2 digits. If you can do 2 digits, I'm sorry, you can do 1. Okay? It shouldn't be that hard. Okay? But it is going to take time. Now, what you have to do today. Oh, good. You're doing all the review questions in the book, right? You know what we're doing today?
What?
3 off. We're doing the online one. So you should have paid attention. We're doing the online one because tomorrow your test is also online. So go to Sadly or Connect, and you're going to answer them online. Okay, Dante, Santa's done. Dropping the mic.